Hello and welcome to my Resident Evil 2 speedrun commentary. This is Claire A, or Claire First, New Game Plus. We're going to be skipping most of the cutscenes through the game. Of course, this is a speedrun. And as usual, we start off in the gas station, every runner's favourite location. And now, I do play in Spanish, and that is just through preference. There is no benefit or any additional skips because of this. It doesn't make the game any quicker running it in Spanish, I just choose to. So we pop Frank in the face, and we head through the door. Now what I do here is I fire a couple of shots to waste some ammo, and that is for two reasons. One of which is to lower my DA, which is the difficulty adjustment. The game has dynamic difficulty, so the better you do, the harder the game comes at you, really. If you whiff shots, or you get bit, then your DA will drop, and you'll have a lower rating. And the better you do, and you hit your shots and you don't get hurt, then the higher your DA. Now also a worthy tip to mention here is we intentionally get bitten by this guy to put us in caution. And in caution, Claire runs faster, so that's why we stay in caution for the whole run, and it will save around 2 to 3 minutes over the course of the run, as well as stair skating like this. That also saves around a couple of minutes from the total time of the whole run. And then we just dodge this guy like that. Boom. Past this dude and through the gate into the RPD. Focus, Claire, focus. So all this is pretty straightforward. If you've played the game before, you know what you're doing here. You kind of have to follow the linear path for the time being. Now here, I pause the game, and this is called a pause buffer, which makes Callahan come through that door a lot quicker. Business as usual going through here. You can run in between these, but they both usually lunge me, and I have terrible luck, so I always shoot the guy on the right, and then I can make it through cleanly, really consistently that way. So I have to apologize if the video or audio quality is whack when you're watching this back, but this is the first time I've ever kind of done a post commentary afterwards, after the fact. I usually stream these, or I just record them and don't commentate. So the other reason for firing them shots earlier, not only to lower the DA, but to also waste some ammo, so that when I drop off things there, I have 3 things to drop off and not 4. And I also put the rocket launcher, which is what the weapon, the only weapon we use for this run, for New Game Plus. The rocket launcher I put in the bottom right corner to give me that extra inventory space, so that I'm not having to root around menuing a lot. Things that I pick up, like key items, for like the spade key, things like that, will go straight in the start of the inventory. So we fire a rocket and get rid of donuts there. That rocket takes out the guy upstairs. So when we go up here, you'll notice he's already dead. There he is. Oh, Oh, frame drop. That's my computer shitting itself, don't worry about that. The clean video for this run is going to be, or has already been uploaded, so you can watch that clean without my commentary if you like. Now here, we fire the rocket and skip the Marvin conversation. That tip I got from Javi, who is the world record holder for this category. He helped me land that, and it is very hard to time. But with a bit of practice, you can get it down. You just have to fire the rocket and stagger Claire when the conversation is starting. It took me many attempts to get a clean run of this to do that. That one was kind of, I felt like it was lucky almost. Lion, weed, and bird is the answer to this puzzle. And then we move on to go and meet Leon. Now you can kind of look away and reduce the stagger there, but I don't know if that worked. I'm not sure. And here's another skip. You fire the rocket directly at the floor and wait 2 seconds for the dust to clear before you move. Then you can skip another conversation with Marvin, and away you go with the bolt cutters, instead of standing at the door waiting for him to have the conversation. Now again, I fire a rocket here because Callahan always gets me, and you'll have to excuse me fucking this bit up, because Claire wouldn't fucking talk to the door. And I fucked up the entrance. That nearly caused me to reset, I'm not gonna lie, but hey ho, I carried on anyway. If you want to know how to fumble a doorway, you get hold of me, because I will teach you. I am the best at fumbling puzzles and doorways. All of this as well, by the way, was played on the PS4 with a broken controller, so go me. That shit was not easy having to do menuing with an analog stick. Back through here again, this time dodging the zombies. Nice little double lunge there, that means my DA is quite high. Zombies don't normally double lunge on standard, but if you're playing well, then they will. So we pick up the detonator. And we make our way to the second floor. Oh, first floor. Whatever. Now, you see there, I kind of run into the steam because you can activate things sideways, like from side on. So she can interact with that puzzle from her side. Therefore, I can run into the steam and still activate the valve. We blow up the liquor and we pick up the battery. Combine that. Liquor's nice and dead, that's what we like. Moving on to our second medallion. Answer for this one is fish, scorpion, vase, or jug, or water, or however you reference it. And now to our third skip, which is the one that the Leviathan taught me. Brilliant runner and brilliant streamer, go and check him out. So you place the C4, then you fire the rocket at that guy, which stops the bookcase from falling over and kills the hanging guy. And you wait until just under a second, fire the rocket, and boom, you don't get stunned. And you can move on to this puzzle, which is Maiden, Harp, and Snake. Boom, 3 medallions. Again, see, they're all in my first 3 slots because of the way that I put the rocket in the last slot. We run past that liquor, we don't worry about him, he's fine. He has no chill, but we run past him anyway. Now you'll see me pause the game The reason I do this is for my own personal time checks, because I don't have an SRT. I'm playing this on PlayStation. It's kind of the only way I can quickly check my in-game time. Just for my own reference, usually to know if I'm on pace or not, because I have certain spots during the course of the run and during the course of the game where I will check the time. Let me just grab my notes. I have my notes in front of me which explain all of my steps for the run, like spade key, bolt cutters, detonator, battery, etc. I'm just going to keep them in front of me. They may come in handy. It's worth noting that on this bit of paper I have in large capital letters the words large gear, because you wouldn't understand how many runs I have fumbled by getting to the clock tower and not having it, because I suck. So now we move on to our first boss of the run, which in this category, New Game Plus, with the rocket launcher, the bosses are just memes really. Especially this one. Blink and you miss it. Ready, let's go. 3 rockets on standard, and he's dead. Now we fire not at him, but next to him. We fire at the wall to get splash damage on the boss and no staggers. If you fire it directly at him, Claire gets pushed back and she has to wait in between each shot. It's sort of, you have to wait longer before you can fire again. And that puts the whole boss fight, just makes it take longer really. Now here, we fire a rocket and we shut Sherry up because we don't want to listen to Sherry. At least not until we have to later on. A couple of aiming quick turn practices while I wait for the bridge. Now, again, you don't need, there is in the locker over there a inventory side pack extension, but we don't need that for this run. We get a few, I think we get another side pack later on, but other than that we're pretty good for the rest of it. There's enough inventory space, considering we only carry the rocket and no ammo. It's pretty much, we're only hoarding key items because we don't use the box through the run, like at all. We use the box once. Now here, I'm going to explain this because you can run past these lickers, but I'm going to shoot these because safety strats. It took far too many rockets, and this second one didn't even die. You can still hear him, so I had to just bolt through. But you can run past both of these and kill them on the way back. I've had the second licker slash me off the ceiling a few times because you have to kind of stick to the right of the room, run past the first licker, run round that hairpin, and you narrowly avoid the second licker. But he has clipped me a few times and ruined some runs. And this, I was on a good run. I had all 3 skips that I wanted from the RPD. I was not taking that chance. So if you're a better runner and a better man than I, then you will just run past these. And this one, you can fire from the rocket from down the corridor at the morgue and kill that one. But on standard, he survives, and he's then waiting outside of the kennel for you. So I don't advise it. On assisted, you can fire from down the corridor and he will die. But on standard, in my experience, he always bloody survives, even if you fire into the corner like you're supposed to. So again, I'm playing sort of safe strats because even getting this run took me a few days of resets and a lot of annoyance. Getting all the stars to align. But it's all good. This is my best run, and I don't think I'm going to be able to top this myself on standard just yet, and I don't think I'm willing to either. Just because this took a long time to do. I brought my time down from 1 hour 18 to 1 hour 12 to 1 hour and 1 to 58 to 56 to 55 to 54 minutes to 53 minutes, and then I finally got this down to sub 53. So we pick up the Lover's Relief there and we place it in the first slot. Now that will help us well, for the next few doors that will help us, because that contains the heart key. So we're just going to mooch through here. We're going to examine this, turn it around, boom, heart key. And away we go. Now this for me, for anyone else this part is easy, but for me this is the biggest choke point of the run, because this is where you get the large gear. And I'm frequently telling myself while playing this, don't forget the large gear. Like, even when I enter the RPD, like, oh, hi Marvin, large gear. Just, yeah, I've forgotten this. I usually exit and I forget to pick it up, see? I run straight out and I'm on the way and I just forget to go in the center and pick it up because I suck. But this time was a good one, we remembered it. We come outside and go down the ladder. Now again, there's two zombies down here. You don't have to shoot as I'm going to here, but again, safety strats. That bitch has got me far too many times. That way I've fired over the banister and taken her out, so she's now not a problem anymore. For me, it's worth the extra second of firing that rocket than it is to get grabbed. So, you know. Now here comes a fuck up. Missed. Let's try that again. You can get it from the side, and I was just too far off. But it's all good. We do a time check when we get here in a sec. We're ahead. I aim to be at around 15 minutes here when I meet X. So just under 15. It's good for me. Or on PB pace. I thought about that, Herb, but no. No, we'll keep running. I'm, however, going to grab this one because it is really on the way. Just a safety herb. Just for later. You never know. There's a few safety herbs in this area that you can pick up. The one by X, that one. There's another one in a minute. But I wanted to at least carry one because, I've had so many runs die because of a licker or a dog. So, wrong key. First time using the new inventory strat. Usually the spade key is the third item in for me. So, it took a little minute getting used to, but it was okay. There's another licker here. Again, you can run past him and go straight for this door. I was a chicken. He slashed me a few times. There is a safety herb in here, but I'm on a tight schedule because Mr. X is going to be up my ass in a second, and he usually gets to me here, either in this room or just in the corridor outside. He's usually around here somewhere. But I had good RNG this time, and he wasn't around. He's actually out here somewhere. I could hear him, and I was trying to look for him. I was like, where the fuck are you? I think he's on the level behind me, on my same floor. So we used the jack that we just picked up downstairs. I'm sorry if my commentary is kind of rubbish, but I'm just chilling and recording this at 6:45 in the morning. I haven't slept yet, bear with me. So we used the jack, we moved the bookcase right 3 times. Mr. X sounds like he is right fucking here. What'd you know? He is. He's there. So that was pretty close. But he's a meme, so it's fine. We fire the rocket there and take out those 2 zombies. You can just bank past, but if you come in here and do this puzzle, and then you sprint out the door, sometimes the zombie close to the door will stay there. Sometimes she's far down the corridor to the left, but every time I've bloody tried this speedrun, she's been right outside the door. So, again, safety strats. I'm sure you guys watching can do this all a lot quicker than me if you take the gambles, but I wanted a clean, consistent PB for myself. I mean, it isn't no world record, but it's probably as close as I'm going to get. And the world record is 49 minutes and 50 seconds by Javi, which was on assisted. For New Game Plus, the difficulty doesn't matter, so people tend to run it on assisted. I, out of my own sort of choice, decided to just keep running it on standard because that's what I wanted to play on. Mr. X is right there. We're good to go. I'm sorry if I didn't explain that clock tower, but I'm sure you guys are aware of that puzzle. Large gear, take the large gear, take it upstairs, swap it for the small one, etc. Bring the small one down. You know the drill. We've all played this before, right? So we skate down these stairs. We get some little quick turns. Back into the chief's room. We nearly go the wrong way, which I normally do, but I remembered early enough. Now, Mr. X can't get you in any of the safe rooms, or the clock tower, or any room where you... If you can't juke around him in a room, then he won't be able to enter, basically. But, as I said, in this playthrough, he's a meme. We won't see him again now for another little while. And even when we do, he's still a meme. A little mess up on this puzzle. No biggie. I clicked the wrong one. It's fine. It happens. We're about 19 minutes. Good stuff. Now we move on to the Sherry segment. Now this is my own personal split where I would say now we've got a run going. Because getting to Sherry is like now we're good to go. The RPD is by far in this run, in my experience and opinion, the RPD is the hardest damn bit because of the different RNG involved. So the trick for this block puzzle, as you saw there, the first block is always the third. So block number 1 on the far left, you move it to the third slot and then you just line everything up and away you go. That wasn't even the quickest that I can usually do that, but the rest of their positions are kind of random, so you just got to roll them around until you get them right lined up. It's all good. This Sherry section takes around 4 minutes. Maybe 5. About just under 5 minutes, I suppose. We're out of here by 24 minutes. But it's pretty straightforward. You can't really go wrong here. There's no split paths to take or anything like that. So we just run through here. Under there, through the door. Nice. This orphanage is a cool addition to the game. It wasn't in the original, and I like that they added it. I think it's a nice touch. It's decorated well. The textures are good. That lighting there coming in the windows look great. It's a cool locale. They did such a good job on this game. Like graphically, it looks so good. There's Kathy on the table. Hey, Kathy. We get the key and then we're off. Now it's a shame this isn't in English this time, purely because Irons has one of my favourite lines in the whole game, which is the way he pronounces locked. For any of you guys that have played this in English, you'd be aware of when he says, in a minute when he comes upstairs and he says, "It's all over now, doors locked." It's the way that he enunciates it, just sounds so good. Great voice actor. But props to the Spanish voice actor too. I apologise, I don't know his name, so I can't credit him, but he's great. Sounds good. Sounds pretty intimidating too in Spanish. And we teabag him for posterity because I've done this so many fucking times. He can't really get you here, it's fine. And I play this the safe way. You can pretty much stand in the open by the end of this level. But I still kind of play it the right way with some teabagging as you go. Why not? Ba-ba-ba-bow. Ba-ba-ba-bow. Come on, scrub. Maliciously teabagging him. So then we just move around this side, wait for him to say "God damn it," and then you're free to move. Now you can, I'm going to run and hide here, but those coloured blocks in front of me, I've seen people just stand next to that the whole time, run to there and stand next to those coloured blocks, and he doesn't see you. But again, I was on a good run and I was not risking it. Not this time. So normally I'll hide under the table, and when he says "son of a bitch," you move to here. But I learned that you can just run straight here. It's fine. Now we grab the key. Away we go. I see you. It's the key is the only item in your inventory, so you can just mash. Oh wow, I lost some footage there. Really? Fuck. That sucks. Damn, I didn't notice that little drop in the thing. I lost like a couple of seconds of footage. But it should still be okay. Hopefully it doesn't invalidate my run. I'm going to be pissed if it does. I haven't watched it all the way through since finishing the run. So I finished the run earlier tonight, and this is the first time actually watching it through. I didn't realize there was a little skip there. But that's because of the recording software or whatever it is that's built into the PlayStation. If you've got too many things saved and your gallery has got a lot of data on it, then you will lose frames out of your recordings like that, which is just a PlayStation error. There's not a lot you can do about it other than keeping your memory low. Now, the reason we're watching this cutscene is I ran to the bathroom. Because during these runs they have to be single segment and whatnot, and you can't really pause for longer than 2 minutes. A cutscene doesn't count your in-game timer, so it just adds to your recording timer, that's fine. But your in-game timer only counts for actual gameplay, not cutscenes. So you could do a speedrun and watch every cutscene and it would still be legit. It would just be a long-ass video at the end. But yeah, I really needed to pee, so I ran off during that cutscene, basically. While I knew I had like 30 seconds. So then we run into Mr. Meme again, but we don't worry about him. Where is he? Here he is. One rocket, or 5, however many you want to use here, it doesn't matter. He's down for the count now. That's goodbye, Mr. Meme, or Mr. X, or whatever you call him. I call him Mr. Meme. So we fire a rocket there, which opens the gate and takes out the other dude, which is great. And then we're moving on through Raccoon City. I love this umbrella poster on the right. Trying to make it like there's some family-friendly corporation. Like, yeah, sure. Another kind of sketchy bit of the run here. Not that sketchy, but it is. Misty, you don't have a chance, leave me alone. But as any runner of this game will know, this is the part when you're saying keep dogs, good dogs. Don't fucking bite me. Okay, we're good. Now, safety strats here, because there's 3 of them, so let's just eradicate 2 at least. The last one, he ain't much of a bother, we just move out of the way. Take out this guy in the back of the bus, don't get staggered. And fire another one, take out the dog outside. Now the last dog that I didn't shoot still remains, he's there. But he wasn't a problem either. If he'd have run at me, then maybe I would have been a bit worried, but he seemed to be a good dog, so that was cool. Then we run into Irons, and then don't worry about him, he's fine. He's totally fine. He didn't just have anything explode out of his chest or anything, he's just absolutely fine. And this again is a simple, straightforward section. So here we're going to be running from Mr. X, no problem at all. Sigue. And then Mr. Meme is no longer a problem at all for the rest of the run. We get some audio overlap here, because when you do that running sequence really fast like that, it seems to happen very consistently. Like that. Time check, when she says literally. We're at 28 minutes, we're doing well. This, again, is my quickest pace yet, so I'm pretty happy at this point when I was getting here. Similar to the hunk section. We go up the stairs, past the cable car. Now just remember that there's like 3 guys in this next room, sometimes I forget. And I was lucky there not to get staggered, which was great. Because again, staggers cost time, we don't want that. So we activate this bridge, and as it's doing that, I'm going to set my inventory again because I want 3 open slots. That is a strat that I sort of discovered and figured out while I was doing some test runs with my friend Zach here the other night. We kind of worked out together that having those 3 slots at the start of the inventory for this next section will save a lot of time in the sewers, because you're going to go and pick up 3 keys, and having them all in the first 3 slots like that makes the menuing just go so much quicker. So I'm going to grab a T-bar and do the same thing, put it down the bottom so that I keep the 3 open slots. We don't need to worry about the safe over there because we don't need the G launcher. So then we fire a rocket there, and that takes out all 3 of these dudes. No fuss, no muss. There's an emergency herb there if you need it for a safety strat later, or if you get hit by any of these G embryos, there's a green herb there. Normally, I open this gate and I run to the other side and then open the other gate and go and get King and Queen while that's opening. But this time, I just stuck to this side. I thought maybe the back and forth might actually be a bit slower, even though I thought I was being quicker by going another way while the gate was opening. But meh, I don't think there's a lot in it. I mean, you have to go both ways anyway, so. Now here again, I play safe. I rocket both these dudes. If you don't fire anything here, so if you don't fire a rocket downstairs or you don't fire a rocket there, then this yellow jacket guy won't come this way. He will still be around the corner. But because we fired at the dude in this room, that's what alerted him. We pick up the side pack and off we go. The reason I did that was because sometimes I run straight through the door, I get the bishop, I come back, and that guy grabs, the guy in the elevator room grabs me in the back. Twice he's managed to catch me, and that means I have to trek through here to get my safe herb, but that loses a lot of time wading through this water in danger. So I thought, no, I'll just take the safe strat. So now we use the T-bar here, which is the last location I'm going to use it, but there are other uses for it in the sewers, which if you've played it yourself, you will obviously know. It's just a shame that we don't bank items in this run, so we end up hoarding keys and T-bars and all sorts of shit. But it's alright. There's enough inventory to make up for it. Because of that extra extension I picked up too. That gave me another 2 slots. Now I'm good to go for the whole rest of the whole run. We fire a rocket there, splash damage, and that one. If you direct impact the second one, he will submerge and it will fuck you up because he will pop out later on your way back. I was told that. I can't remember who told me, but it was a very valuable strat. Again, kill that one with splash damage. You can listen to the screeches, you know that they're dead. In particular, squeals they let off basically let you know that they're dead. So in here, we pick up the Queen. We place the Queen. We run upstairs. we get the king, we jump down, we grab the queen. We're not getting the spark shot in this run, so we don't need to worry, but we can just place the queen, put the king in here, back out, take the queen, round the corner, fumble the corner, take the king, and leave. And that is the king and queen done quick. Now we have the king, the queen, and the rook. I think I might have said bishop earlier, I do apologise, but it's the rook. All of these are already dead because we blew them all up. No worries. Now we can just chill and run straight through. There's only one more to worry about coming up in a second, and as you'll see, we'll deal with him when we get there. He's not a problem either. As soon as he appears, bang, splash damage. There's the screech. He's dead. And then you just have to make your way back to the main room, the save room. And that is the sewers pretty much complete. All we've got now is to head back there, put the keys in the appropriate points in the door, and then we're going to be moving ahead to the second boss, G2. This room is way more tranquil without the dogs. Anyone that's played 4th Survivor, the hunk mode, will appreciate that room is absolute AIDS. So the answer for this one is queen there and king. Take the bishop and place the king here. So it would read king, queen, pawn. And then this side, from the door closest to the wall, put the knight in its right place there. So it would read bishop, rook, knight. Bishop being the one closest to this door. Simple as that. There are some herbs here. You can get a full shield heal. Again, we're not picking stuff up. We don't need it. We're fine. This little switch puzzle is 1, 2, 4. No problem. Now here we do a little nifty quick turn and dodge the arm coming through, and we try and get splash damage on him straight away. I fire another one just to be sure, another couple just to be sure, and it should bring him straight to the gate. Otherwise, he punches through the ceiling 5 times. We haven't got time for that. We've got to go. We've got to go fast. This bit still kind of scares me when I run it because he is right up your arse the whole time. He nearly catches you here. Look, watch. That slash. Ugh. It's like, it's not that scary, but you just don't want to get fucking hit, you know? So luckily he's over there and he hasn't followed us too soon, which is good. That means we can do this in one. So we can down him over there. Otherwise, we have to go to the right corner over this end, because he will get up and you have to drag him over there, down him again, bring him back here, down him again, you know. But this way we can just keep him stunned in place, bring the crane back. And this is pretty much it. We're just chilling now, waiting for the crane. Fire another rocket or two just to keep him in place, especially when he stands up like that. He is no match for Claire Redfield. And away we go. Lo siento, Sherry. So we're going to do another time check. And we're at 36 minutes, which is my quickest yet. The best time I had previously there was leaving with Sherry at like 37:25 or something. So I was pretty stoked when I got here and I realised I was ahead. Like for my own PB, that's good. This is just a forced walk and chat, so we're going to carry her to the cable car. And then we're going to be heading to the last section of the game, which is Nest, the labs. Pretty straightforward. I'm gonna drink some tea.
Vamos a curarte. Aguanta, Sherry. Todo irá bien. Por su seguridad, espere hasta que las puertas se abran.
So you kind of have to just wait for these doors. Not much you can do. It's a forced walk and chat, really. So we'll kind of, you know, comfort Sherry a little bit by rocking her while we're running. Now, in this room where you drop Sherry off, if you hadn't already, or you were actually looking for it, you can pick up on that right-hand table back there. You can pick up the grenade launcher for Claire or the shotgun for Leon if you didn't pick them up in the RPD. The game will give them to you for free here. So on a normal Claire A run, we shoot that door and kill the zombie the other side of it. That'll come up in a second. Normally on a normal Claire A run or Leon A run, I don't pick up the shotgun or the grenade launcher, and I just get to here and then use the grenade launcher on the last two bosses. So that rocket I fired at the door a second ago has killed this dude. It stops you getting staggered from firing at close range. So we get the next chip. We don't combine it properly because I suck. We waste time menuing, but never mind. Away we go anyway. We're still ahead. It's fine. Keeping those racing lines nice and smooth. Or as best as I can, anyway.
Dr. Lee, el jefe Cartwright le necesita urgentemente en el área este.
Now, you might see a couple of, well, there's no might about it, you will see a couple of pauses for time checks while I do this section, just because I'm getting near the end of the game and I'm trying to, you know, just to double check everything and make sure I'm on pace. So I do apologise about the occasional pauses, but as I said earlier, it's the only way I can really check my in-game time. So we activate that switch and we head over to the east area. Now on a speed run, we already know the codes for the puzzles, so we don't have to look around for the trophy and go to the hatch and find the code. We're just gonna input the code straight away because we already know them, and I will tell you what they are when we get there. So that bit's scary running past those guys, but it is doable. We pick up a safety flash, and I'll explain why later. This is 2067. And the next one is 3123. And then we grab this thing. This, what is it? Dispensal cartridge. That's the word. Now we take the cartridge into here, we place it, and the answer to this puzzle is red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green. The answers for all of these puzzles are different in the B scenario, so this is just for A. Right. Okay, and now we leave, and we head down to the hatch. But first, let's blow this motherfucker up. And another one falls in its place. I was getting terrible plant RNG here. But whatever, we'll deal with him in a minute. But for now, we head through here. Now we fire a rocket and take out these 3 people at once. That way they don't get back up later. And then for these lickers, I stick to the left. It seems to consistently get me past them. I think you can go to the right anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I've just had good luck getting through that side. Now, I'm not going to worry about... I'm going to move out of the way of that guy. I'm not going to worry about these two dudes in here just yet. We'll sort those guys out in a minute. I think I just had a couple of frame drops there. I do apologise. That is my computer shitting itself. Now we fire at the floor. I got a stagger, but we killed both of those dudes. That guy there, and the dude underneath. Don't ask me fucking how, but they're both dead. GG. I'll take it, you know? It's the first time I've got them both in one shot, so I'm happy with that. Two lickers. We take them out with one shot too. And using the modulator we just picked up, we do this puzzle, which is Murph. Now, using the dials, if you imagine the dials like clock faces, then Murph has to be the left one at 3 and the right one at 4 o'clock. So you just line it up, the dials to 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and that is the answer to Murph. And Claire realizes that she should have brought her Parker. A nice throwback to the old RE2 with this thing. But we skip it. Away we go. You run into the wall like an idiot. Don't try that one at home. You will obviously be running tight to the corner and you'll get around there faster than I did. Because you're probably not a scrub like I am. Now we're pretty much home free. We fumbled a door because again, I'm a scrub. Now we deal with these plant motherfuckers again. I'll take the stagger. Let's just get him dead. Just get out of my way, amigo. Keep it down, will ya? So we place the cartridge in here. And Claire says goodbye to the weed infestation, finally. Right, you see that ivy plant guy there? He is the reason we have a safety flash. Because I've lost 2 runs to that motherfucker right there. But the trick is, stay tight on this corner, tight. He still lunged. I nearly shit a brick when that happened, but I knew I was alright, so it's no problem. Now you watch this motherfucker, don't worry about him either, you can run straight past him. Sometimes he's looking at you, but I got lucky there. If he's looking at you, you go left of the table. Good RNG there. There's only one around, so I'll just blow him up. No problem. Now that is the very last actual serious choke point of the run. As I said, the IVs, sometimes that one, if you don't take the corner close enough, he has grabbed and killed me before. And the plant IVs can kill you in one shot if you don't have a defense item. Hence why we picked up that safety flash. Just in case, because we don't have any knives or anything. So could have picked up a knife in the back of the cafeteria if you wanted, but I like to just pick up that flash there. They're both on the way, so it's no issue. Now for the last modulator puzzle, this is OS, and the answer is the dials at 12 and 5. Boom. Another little cheeky time check, just to see if I was on course. And of course this bit, well, I did not mean to talk to that computer. I was mashing X for this cutscene too early. So don't mash too early like I did. Now I was getting paranoid and checking my inventory because later on I have to pick up a 2-slot item, so I wanted to make sure I had 2 slots. So we step far back from him so that we don't get staggered, and that means staggered there. See, the less we're staggered, the faster we can fire the rockets. So of course we want the quickest turnaround time possible, which I had 1 stagger there. It was alright. It wasn't too bad. Can do better. But yeah, that was G3. He's just a meme, like I said. Now we're heading back to the north area to go and grab Shezza. Again, this bit's pretty straightforward. The next part after you pick up Sherry in a sec, this is all going to be like a forced linear walk and chat, or run and chat, should I say. So we get the last key card and combine that. And we head back to the lift. That was the level 4 chip that we needed to be able to get into the elevator. And now my cat's meowing. Oh, you want to be in the video too, kitty? Okay. She wants attention. I haven't been giving her attention while I'm recording this video, so she decided to just meow and get my attention. So this next part now, when Sherry says Claire, you can fire the rocket and skip the dialogue. Just like that. And that shuts her up. Decent. They did such a good job with the character models for this game. Like, Claire's model was based off Jordan McEwen, and she looks exactly like her. It is crazy. The way they photograph them and scan them in to make the realistic looking models is just crazy. Really good. Now I'll kind of wait for Sherry a little bit here. You can run on, but she can get a little bit stuck sometimes if you run too far ahead. She kind of bumps into that yellow barrier trying to come straight to you instead of going around it. She's an idiot. That's why I delayed my approach there and just waited for her for a sec. But I can't go any quicker there anyway, so you might as well wait for her to catch you a little bit. These IVs cannot kill you or get her. They literally, because of Sherry being with you, they can't grab you. They can't grab her either. It's different for Leon because he's on his own there, but for Claire, you don't have to worry. And obviously no more Mr. Meme, so we just have to deal with this section. Again, another forced section. We have to wait for Sherry to climb through and open the door. So we're just going to kill some IVs while we're waiting. If you don't want to fight these, you can go up and down, up and down, up and down on the ladder there. And then when she's about to open the door, you can just come down and run straight to the door. It saves you having to deal with the IVs. And the one that's in the middle of the platform will kind of de-aggro and walk away from you when you're going up and down the ladder. So like if you're doing a hardcore normal new game run or whatever, you can avoid the IVs that way. Especially if you don't have the ammo to deal with them. This dude's on fire. He only has 50 HP, but again we use a rocket just to dispose of him. That's where Leon would go, down that lift. Now we're coming up to the last part of the game. This is going to be the last boss. First, this is why I was paranoid earlier on about having 2 slots, because this next plug takes 2 slots, which I have. No problems. Still even got safety flash and a safety herb. So if you're watching this, you can probably do this a lot quicker than me if you don't take the safe straps that I did. But this was to ensure that I had the run. And now we take on G4. Straightforward enough, boss. Stick to the side. Like, favour one of the sides, whichever you prefer, doesn't matter which. And just rinse and repeat until he dies. As soon as the boss dies, then it will be time. Takes a few more because it's on standard. You just keep firing, it's no biggie. Time. And there we go. Meow. What's up, cat? And that was Claire Redfield A, New Game Plus, standard in 52:32.